Okay. Uh, so for the drag component, okay. For the drag component, I'm going to assemble some components here. So that's the wheel assembly. I'm going to assemble these parts again. Like I have shown you yesterday how you can import the product like that. You can just import it, right click, set the default, and after that just click OK. So this is the first component that will be like that here. It will be fixed. Okay, I'm going to start again with the joints. First of all, go to the new, go to the assembly and click OK. And here you have to import some parts. So go to this assemble and go to the working directory, and now I have some parts that are not created in the Creo. For that, use the type all from here and you will see all the parts here. So insert the parts one by one to make it default constraint. Right click and select the default constraint, and here it is fully defined. You can see it is fully constrained right now. So click OK, and after that go to the assemble again and use the second part like that. Insert the second part. So right now I want to assemble this part here. For that I'm going to use some joints because this product will be adjusted like that and it will rotate around the axis, the spin axis. For that, to rotate the part, we have to apply a joint here, that is pin. So in pin joint, you can see there are two connections. First is the axis alignment, second is the translation. So we have to fix it axis. So you can select two circular faces like that. Okay. And after that you have to control its movement. So I want to flip the pin joint. So in the axis alignment you have to just okay, first of all I'm going to remove the component. So in the axis alignment I'm going to select internal, and it is aligned there. To flip we have to select the flip from here, but right now it was set accordingly, so the flip doesn't work right now. So after that I'm going to specify that these phase and this phase are coincident, but now I have to flip that. So this is the option that you can apply from here. To flip the component, you can rotate the component also from here. You can see that. Okay, and now there is the connection definition complete, and you can see the color. This shows the definition is complete right now. There is no motion remain that we don't want. Okay, we have applied the pin joint, so this rotation will be there. Okay, just click OK, and we have the assembly. To see which part has joints, you can see here the part with the joint will have a rectangular box. You can see right here there is a box, and in that there is a dot. It's a very small dot, so you will not be able to see that properly, but there is a rectangular box in that we have a dot. That means this component, this one component has a joint assigned to it. So to check the rotation, we have the option here, that is drag component. We can just select the drag component. After that you have to select the component like that, and you can drag component around the axis like that. Okay, you can see right now it's rotating in the 360 direction. So to control its rotation, we have to apply some constraint for the rotational axis also. And to apply the constraint, just edit the path. go to the placement. There you will find a rotation axis. Okay, and the color will be yellow. This means the yellow color means you can apply this part, and if you don't want, you can leave it, because this is a limit, not a required constraint. If you delete this one, if you define again like that, you will see we have axis alignment. After that, we have the translation with red dot. This means you have to specify the red one from here, because this is the pin, so you need to specify to surfaces like that, and you need to specify, you need to control its motion, so like that you can control that. Okay, after that, we have a third component here, that is rotation axis, and that has a yellow color, means you can define it or you can leave it. So I'm going to define the rotation also. I'm going to define that this plane and this face and this face, both the face, you will see there will be some option now. So current position is 61 degree. I want to specify the 0 degree. Now you can see both the faces are at 0 degree, means both are aligned. Now I want to rotate the component up to this point like that. Okay, go to the rotation axis. You can see the angle is 52 degrees. I want this component to be rotated around 45 degree, and I want to make rotate this component around this 45 degree also. So the limit is from minus 45 to 45. So there is a limit, minimum and maximum. So I want to specify both the limits. The minimum should be minus 45 and the maximum should be 45. Okay, just click OK, and you will see if you drag the component selected from any point, you can drag the component to up to a certain point. You cannot go further, and you can drag the component like that, and you cannot go further from this. Okay, and if you select the drag component, you will see a relation here, a symbol here that shows which type of uh, relation is this, which type of joint is applied here. You can see a yellow marker that shows the rotation. So this is the symbol for pin joint. If you apply some other, you will see the joint according to that. Click close, you will see the representation is gone now. So like this way you can apply some joints. Assemble again, go to the all parts, insert the part like that, and join the part. Now I want this part to be rotated around this, so I'm going to select two circular faces directly from here. In the placement, I want it to fit in, so select two circular faces and select two faces. I want this face to be adjusted at this one, and it should be flipped at this one. So click OK, and you will see we have the rotation. Select the track component. You can select the object. It can be rotated or it can be rotated like that. Okay. So after that, just insert the last component, that will be the tire. So select the tire. Here it is. So this tire will be rotated around this one according to this one. So these two components will be fixed to each other. So we can just apply a rigid mate from here, or we can just make it fixed according to the plane. We can define a user defined constraint from here. Go to the placement and select like this plane and this plane, make it coincident. Okay, and select this circular axis to this one, and you will see the component is according to the in the orientation of this product. So last we have is a value that it is moving. So I'm going to specify that this space is connected to this one and it is flipped. So like that you can also create it. Just click OK, and here if you drag, you will see the rotation is also there with respect to the that is inside, like that. Okay, there is two option. You can just make it rigid, or you can apply the user defined also. Both will have similar. Yeah. Any question till now?
Once again, sir, that coincident, selecting the plane and making coins.
We can just select the plane. Right. Go to edit. Just going to delete everything. To create a coincidence, you just have to select two plane, two face, anything. Like I want to make this face and this face coincident. So you can just select the two face. It will automatically define the coincident. If it does not select the coincident by default, you can just go here and select the coincident like that. Go here, select the distance like that. You can make it on the distance, or make it on the coincident, or make it at an angle, at the normal. You can define anything. Okay. So when you define this one, you will see this face is connected. Now you have to just control its rotation. So for the rotation, you have to, okay, for the rotation, you have to just select this plane and this plane, and you can see the angle offset is applied. So go to the coincident like that, and the product will be coincident to that face. So after that, just select the circular face and circular face, and another coincident will be added. And just click OK, and there is the relation. Okay, this is the simple user defined. You have the first option, that is user defined, means you will define which type of constraint you want. Okay, so next uh, we have to constrain in this direction also. We have to apply the constraint. We have to import the product. So go to the assemble. Now we have to insert this one, because both the objects have some difference, because we have some left and right components. So we need the shaft, this one, in the similar direction. For that we have to create the new component. So that's why I'm importing this component, because it is a different part, not the similar part. So just define again. It should be pin. Okay, like that. Define the face, that this face should be here. Define the relation like that. After that, just click OK, and right now you can see that this component can be dragged freely, but in 360, and this component can be dragged according to the angle specified. If you want to make both the components in the if you want to make them rotate similarly, so in the second component, you can just add a new set. In that you can just use general and select face to face like that. It should be coincident, sorry, parallel to this face, and you will see, if you see here, the connection definition is complete. If you click OK and drag single component, the other component will also rotate. And now you can see these component will rotate according to the angle provided to this one. It cannot rotate 360 now, because we have a limitation here. You can see there is the limitation. This is the general constraint. This is the rotation. This is the rotation. So we can just rotate this component. We can just rotate this component, and there is general, that is just controlling the rotation of both the products. Yeah. So next we have to just import. We can just copy this product, like repeat the break test. So select the component. Just click OK first. Select the component. This is the break disk. Now we have the repeat here. You can just select the repeat, which you want to repeat. I want to repeat both the constraints. So go to the add. Now you can see it is asking for the circular relation that we have applied, like this one. So I'm going to specify the circular rotation like that. After that, it will ask for the face-to-face relation. So I'm going to specify the face-to-face, that is this one. Okay. relation. According to that, you can specify them. If you want to just remove that relation, you can do that also, or click OK. Okay, now I'm going to check. Sorry. Now I'm going to check that the constraint that I have applied here is pin joint, and in that pin the translation was according to this space to this space. So I have selected the correct one in here also, so you can just see that if you can rotate this component like that. Okay, if you want to rotate this component according to this one, with respect to this one, you can just add another relation in the break disk. You can see this is the pin. Okay, if you go to the placement, remove the relation, you can just add some new relations like that. I want to rotate this one. Okay, this one. So now you want to rotate it according to this one. So just define a new set that it should be general, and in general I'm going to define that this plane should be parallel or coincident to this one. So just click OK. Now go to the drag. You can see both the component. Okay, both the component lost its rotation. So I'm going to just edit that part. And for that, you can see this is on the rotation. Okay. So I think I have selected some wrong component here, some wrong value. So for that, let me check. In the placement, I have applied a general. So in the general, it will find that coincident with this place. Okay. So going to delete that first. Click OK and check that it can rotate. Yes, it can rotate. Check this rotation also. Yes, it is in the rotation. So after that, I'm going to edit this one. Go to the placement and define a new set. In the set, you can choose the set from here. So I can just assign a new that it should be general. If the general doesn't work, you can just go to the planer, define two planes like that, and click OK. Now check the rotation again. Okay, the rotation is lost. So you will get some problems related to that one. So you have to see, you have to check again and again to add the relation. New set general. In most of the cases, the general works perfectly, but in some cases, it will lost its relation. Till now, we can see it is working. And it should be confident. It's okay. To drag. We are not able to do that. Okay, you can see that it can be rotated. I think it is happening because we have not applied the, because we have a rotation here also. That's why we are getting the problem. But if you rotate, you can see both the components can rotate with respect to each other. So the general will work, but due to the rotation in this component, we were not able to see the rotation in these two components. Okay, any question till now? You can see that I have applied, I can drive this part with respect to this one. Okay, you can ask the question if you have any doubt. These are some confusing drawings. We have to see them by applying
Yes,
again
sir.
and again. Yes. Hello. If you have any question, you can ask. Okay. So let's move on to the next component. So just insert the component now. you can just copy this one, the wheel, the tire. So select the repeat. You can select the repeat from here also. I want to repeat all the relations. So add those. So the first relation is face to face. I want to specify this face. After that, the second is from the plane. Specify the plane. So the third relation is from this one. So you can see that the component will be there. Click OK and click the drag button. You can rotate the component also in both the directions. Okay, so this is the very easy option to repeat the components. You can rotate each component according to your needs like that. So this is the basic assembly that we can use with the help of pin and simple general constraint. Any question in the general and the pin joint? After this, I'm going to move to the next joint, that is cylindrical. Okay. So for the next, I'm going to create a new assembly. I can just delete the part from here and I can import the new part from here. I'm going to select some new part. User defined is not going to rotate or not going to be in the motion. Okay, user defined will not be able to be in the motion, but general will assign a motion according to its requirement or according to its previous joints. User defined means the product will not move. Okay, it will be in simple motion according to the previous joint. It will be simply rigid to the body you have applied the constraint. You can see that I have applied some relation to the tire with respect to the plane of the disc. So the tire and the disc became rigid. I will show you again. Here we have some parts. It will require some time to give you the parts. Okay. So here is the component. Right click and default relation. Click OK. So here is the part. This is the base housing of the component. You will see there are some errors. So what are the errors? Import validation. Okay. So this is a component from the other assembly that is showing some errors. So just regenerate one. If the error remains, just go to the edit, go to the placement, remove the default. Here I'm just going to define some relations manually. So the relation will be like I want to, okay. So we don't have planes in this part. So I'm just going to define that this plane should be constant to this one. This plane should be constant to here, and it has a motion up down. So it should be constant like that. So after that, just define a relation with respect to a phase. So here we don't have a phase that is flat. Okay. So to create a relation, just open the part. There I'm going to add a plane in the part. To add the part, to add the plane in the part. Okay. So here we have some sort of okay, the assembly. Go to the crankcase. So here we have, you can see we don't have any plane. So go to the plane. select a cylindrical surface, select a flat surface also, you will get a plane in the mid. You can see this is the normal, like that. So click save and switch to the window. Now you will see we have a plane. Just go to the edit. Now remove the constraints from here. Move the object outside. So define the relation that this should be with this one. It should be coincident, and this page should be with relation to this one. Again coincident, and we have a plane here. This plane should be coincident to this. So it will be defined like that. Okay. So the error is with the validation. No modification. Okay. Uh, this error will remain because it has some geometry that is not according to the Creo, so it will give us some errors also. Okay, so you can keep that like this way, or you can just create it in the Creo also. So right now I'm just going to move with this one. So assemble, go to the next part. The next part should be, okay, so we have a barrel pushing. Okay, this is the push. I don't want to. And, okay, so I'm going to assemble. I'm going to import a assembly where I can see the features also. Wait for a few seconds. It will take some time. Okay, so here is the assembly. Click OK. Delete the first part. You can see all the components will be imported, but these will have some errors in between. So to edit the parts, just go to the edit of the assembly, define the default constraint, click OK, and in the assembly, define the relation like I want to define the default constraint. From here it is fixed now. We don't want to make it fixed. So remove the fix from here and define some relation like default is okay. So you can see all the parts will move according to that. So there are 31 missing models for import validation failure, so that we can just manage. Right now I'm just going to assemble, I'm just going to show you how you can work with this component. So after that we have the flywheel, we have this one, okay. So I'm just going to import, okay, this one. I'm just going to edit this one, and I'm just going to define the relation with respect to this one. So the relation will be, this is the simple component. So delete the fix, define the user defined, and here is the circular with respect to this, and here is the face with respect to this one, and here is the component assembled fully defined. Click OK. So next we have to define that this sleeve should be added. So go to the edit, define the placement, first delete and define the placement according to it. So I'm just going to first insert this sleeve inside this part. Do that. I just have to hide this component. Okay, so select the face, or press escape. I just want to hide this component. Select the component. This is the exhaust cylinder. So here is the cylinder. Here is this one, this one, this one. we have different parts. So I just want to make it high. Okay, like that. I can hide the component. So next is edit this one, delete the relation, and add the component from here to here. Reference previously can be suddenly go of confirm. So this component can move up and down. So you just have to define it cylindrical relation. So in that there is the relation up and down. Connection definition is complete. Just click OK and it will be defined like that. Okay. Basically we have the relation with respect to this one. So we have the error. So right now I am just going to insert the piston, just add it and delete the relation previously defined. So you can see that you can just add the piston inside of this one by just applying the cylindrical constraint like that. You can see the connection definition is complete. Just click OK and the component can be dragged up and down like that. So till now you can see that this is also movable because I applied cylindrical motion to this one also, because we have a motion to this component with respect to the JS here. So to apply the cylindrical motion, you can see the motion can be this one. It can be rotated in 360 degree. It can move up and down. Okay, so this is the cylindrical motion in here. Like this way, you can apply the cylindrical motion. So next, the constraint we have is, go to the edit. So next constraint we have is slider. How we can slide a component on the other component. For that, I'm just going to use a simple component like, okay, so we're just going to use a new assembly for the slider. And in this new assembly, I'm just going to insert another component. Okay, so symbol, where we have the, okay, so here we have some components like L1, L2, here is the assembly directly. We can open the assembly. So here is the assembly, just make it fully defined like that, and you can see we have this assembly here. Right now we have some validation error. So what is the error? The error is in the third part. So you can just close this one, open the file directly, and you can open the file directly from here, the assembly from this one. Okay. This is the slider assembly. Just open the assembly directly. You can see that we are directly in the slider assembly. We can just edit the component like that. I want to make this component fixed. So go to the relation default constraint, click OK. Here is the component. Next, I'm going to define that the second component is on this one. Okay, so fixed component should be this one, slider 2. So edit, delete. So this component should be fixed. This component should be this one, and this component will be applied on this one. So how to apply the slider? Just go to the edit, go to the relation, go to here, slider. You can see it is asking for an axis alignment. So my axis alignment should be according to the part. So my axis alignment should be this down one, and the other axis should be aligned to this one. You can see that the component is aligned to the part like that. Move the tagger. So first of all, see the component properly. So the axis alignment should have been with the internal part. So just go to the axis, remove, select the internal or remove both. Select the axis alignment properly. As I want this axis to be aligned right here. So you can see the axis alignment. So use axis alignment according to your needs. After that, we have to control the rotation. So just select two faces. Then we have the connection incomplete. Okay. So the relation should be with this component. Okay. I don't know why the size changed here. Size was equal in the first component when I created this one. Okay, so the rotation is this one. So just apply the relation between these two components, and here is the slider. You can now just drag the component from here like that. So this component is in the motion. Okay, so we are going to apply again. I'm just going to delete this part from here. There's some error in this assembly, so I'm just going to import to a new assembly. So for that, just close the first one and now assemble. We have all the components here. So we are in the slider. We have the rail 1 here, rail 3 here, and rail 2 here. So first is the rail 3. This should be default. Click OK. After that we have the rail 2. So here is the rail 2. So this is the rail 2. Okay. So you have to specify the relation. Now I want the rail to slide here. For that, go to the slider. You have to select the axis for the slide like that. You can select an axis from here also like that. Your component will slide on that part. So you have to specify the rotation, that it should not rotate like this one. So the rotation will be controlled with the help of two faces, like this one and this one, and both the you will see here the slider is applied. You can just drag the component like that. Okay. So I want this component to be slide up to a certain point like here and not more than this location. So to control that we have to just go to the method. We have to just go to the edit, and in the slider we will have some relation, that is translation axis. I want to translate this component from here and here. So this gap should be minimum 0. You can see the current position is 0, and I want to move it maximum up to So this is minus 15. So I want it to move up to minus 16 now. So here is the limit from minimum to maximum. It should be minus 16 to 0. So click OK here, remove the plus sign like that, click OK, and you can see that if we drag the component, it is only moving in the particular area or the particular distance. Yeah. So after that, if you want to insert another component, insert the third one or the third slider, the rail one, and here is the rail. So just define the relation that is slider. So we have to slide this component. So slide it. We have to select an axis and select the axis properly with the size. Okay. We have to specify some edges. So I don't have some particular edges here. So just going to select some random edges from here, like this one, this, this one. You can see the component is confident on the part but not in the center. So for that we need uh, axis, we need an axis at the center. We can create an axis inside the component, like from here directly. We can just select the axis here, we need the axis, and we can select the axis according to that. So just need an axis here, the distance should be from here, and the second relation should be from the mid, like that. So this should be 0 and this should be 0, like that. Click OK. So here we have an axis. If we just open the part or okay, click OK. Here we have the axis. We can also use the axis now for the slider, like that. So we have to create another axis. We have to create basically two axes in the center. So to do that, just open the component, just define an axis here, go to the axis, select the space where you need it, select the distances, okay, where you need it, like that. I need this one to be around 8, or you can just go to directly into the sketch. You can select the axis from here. Reference would be with this one, close, and you have to select two faces for the reference, like this one, close. So now we are in the sketch environment. Let's define an axis from center line from here, like that. Click OK. Here is the axis. The face, close. You get an axis to import the component, the rail 3, not rail 1, like that. Click OK. Open the part. You have to define an axis here. So create a sketch here. Define the faces for the reference, like that. Close. And now just like that, go to the center and define the axis like that. Click OK, and here is that. save, close. Now you will see edit this component, go to the slider, select this axis, select this one axis from here, and you can see the component is in the center. Select two faces for the relation in the face, like this one and this one. We need to adjust the component according to the need. After that, go to the placement, define the translation. I want to define the translation from here to inside of this face. So that should be this one. So currently the value should be 0 and it should move up to a certain point, like up here. So that's 16. So define the minimum, that is 0. Define the maximum, that is 16. Click OK. Now you can just drag the component like that. So this is the slider motion. You can see it. Any question on the slider? Any question in the slider? You can move the component from here or you can move the component from here. Okay. So after that we have a constraint. Okay. We have covered these two constraints. So right now we will remove the constraint first. And now we have the cylinder that we have covered. We have the planer. So the planer will work on the face only. You can define a face, like I want to define the planer here. So define the face to face option and the object will be made planar to that face. You can select the translation and the rotation. If you just click OK and drag the component can be dragged in the rotation in the XY direction, YZ, like that. It will not move up and down. Okay, the motion you see here is not up and down, basically it is front and back, but see it in the front. Okay. So you can see the object cannot move up and down, simply it can translate on this axis only. Okay, it can rotate, it can translate, but it cannot go up and down. If you see from the front, it does not move up or down. This is the planar. After that, we have the relation that is a ball. So for the ball, we need relation to build for the ball into open part. Okay, wait for few seconds. I will just open the part. Okay. So here is the component that we will see how we can just create the component, how we can apply the ball motion. So if you see here, there are two balls that is connecting on this component. So if you just go to the drag, you will see the relation that is the ball here. You can define the ball relation. So you see that, open the component, edit the component from here. You will see the relation. Okay, okay. So the relation is applied to the whole assembly, and there is the ball relation. So to create the ball relation, we need only 2 points to specify. If I delete this relation from here and move the object further outside, you can see that if I turn on the point display from here, you will see there are 2 points, one at here, one at here. Okay, so you can just simply create the point at the center also. So the object will move according to that. Just select the ball from here. You can see the point alignment is here. Just select the 2 points that you need to align like that, and there will be the motion. The ball can be rotated, the object can be rotated in 360 degrees according to the motion, according to the point. Okay, so we need to apply another point here. For that, just go to the menu and you can just select the points again, and there is the relation. Just click OK, and if you drag the component can be rotated around 360 degrees. Because I have selected the tips, that's why it is doing like that. If I select the center point from there, so that these objects will rotate properly. Okay, so the ball will basically rotate around the 360 degrees. You just have to apply some angle up to where we want to rotate the object. We have to create those points. I have created these points manually. If I go to the open, you will see here there is a point, and the point is created from the command point form. Okay, I have created that point manually. If you open this part, there is again the point. Okay, point 50. Okay, so the point I have created in the assembly. So go to the part, open the assembly, and here I have created this point in there. Okay, so the point is in this assembly. So open, I think it's in here. Okay, it's in here in this bush. We have the point. So you have to create the points and you have to assign the points like that, and after that you can just add the ball joint also. So any question in these drawings? Okay. Okay. So these were the main options here that is used in the simple basic assembly. After that, we have some more features like welding, which is basically to join two components. Okay, in that we have to just simply select the coordinate system, select the component system. Okay, select the component coordinate system and the assembly coordinate system, and the object will be welded to each other. So these are, we are not going to cover the weld there in the 6 degree of freedom and these ones here. Okay, these will be covered in the advanced session that is going to start in few days. So for the basic assembly, so for the basic uh, our essential training of the Creo parametric, we have these joints available. Okay, from here you can see we have covered everything. We have covered distance, angle, parallel, these types. Coplanar means on the same plane, and centered means the point, like that. So can you see, and mainly these will be used for distance, angle, parallel, and default and confident. Okay, so these are the main points for the assembly. If you have any question, you can ask. So the last thing we are going to cover is, one is the appearance and one is the exploded view. For that, you can see that this is the assembly. This can be moved right now. So if you need an exploded view, what we mean by exploded view is that you want to see each and every component at a separate distance. So just go here, exploded view, and you can see the assembly will be open without deleting the relation. It will be just shown like that. Everything will be separated from its base location. Okay, so this is the automatic explode view. You can just click here, like that it will be joined, like that it will be explode. Okay, this is just a visual representation to show the exploded view of that assembly. You can save these views. We are going to see that in the drafting in the next session, how you can save this view so that you can insert this view into the assembly. Sorry. Okay, how to insert these in the drafting. Okay, so we will cover this view manager in next section. From there, you can create some manual exploded view. You can create some orientation like your custom view. So we will cover everything from that. Okay, right now just to show you, I can just click here on the origin and then I can just add this view here. Okay, and define the name, press enter, and here is the view that we have. Okay, so go here and you will see a view. So just click on that view from here and you will see that the exploded view will be shown directly from the views also. So we will cover this in the next session, how we can create the exploded view. For the appearance, we have here, you can see this is the color red applied here. So how to apply the appearance? For that, you can just go to the appearance, select the appearance type you need. Right now we have some limited options here. For the color, like I want this green color, so select, and now you can select the component, click OK, and the component will be colored in that appearance. Okay, you can use some more appearance. You can create an appearance from here, or you can just select it from the library. Like I want this metal color, this metal property. So select just that, click OK, and the object will have that property. To make the circular fins, you have to use some surface modeling options. In that, you have to create the fin. You have to use the surface modeling option for the fins. So in that, you have to just create the shape from a view, like I want to create a shape in the front view, and with this line that my skin should be like this one. Okay, we have the surface option, like we extrude. We have the surface option. You can extrude it like this one and go to this shape. Now you have to just create another shape and define the shape you need for the fin. So I'm going to define that with the help of like that, and I can just go to the extrude again like that, click OK, and I can just use the trim option from here. I want to trim this one. Okay. So I just want to flip the direction of the material, click OK, like that. You can create some pins in the 3D. This is just a representation. You have to use the shape very precisely so that your object can be created properly. So here we have to create a sketch, again a circular entity like that. With OK, we have to extrude that, and the surface also like that, and we can just merge these two. And for the merge, there is the option. We need this material and need to trim with this one. Okay, so like that we can have some pins. We can just pattern this one around the axis like that with number of items. Okay, we can add some pins, but we have to apply everything. You can see that I have not used the trim. We have to use the trim also. Okay, so in that way we can create that. We can also apply the material. The material will be applied directly from the file and the prepare and the model property. And here we have the material not assigned. Go to the change and select the material you need. Okay. We have to define the material from here. Let's go to the standard material. Here we have the plastic like fruit. Now we need ABS. Okay. And now it is a second. I have not applied that material. Plastic ABS open. Okay. So now you can see the material is the ABS. You can see the mass property from here for that object, that entity, like that. Okay. Please assign. Okay, we need to assign some values first. I will show you later that how you can assign. But to assign the material, there is the ABS. To change the unit, there is the change. You can just change the unit to millimeter newton second also. Just click that. Just interpret the values, don't convert, because uh, if you convert the one, the value becomes the 25.4. If you interpret the one remains one, so click OK, and the unit can be changed like that. Okay, next question. Next question, if you have any. If you have any question, just ask. Okay. Since you don't have any question, so uh, yes, we can assign the motion. That's why the assignment was given. I have already asked you if you have any question. No one was asking the question. We can apply the motion. We have to just open the component, close, Go to the new assembly. Okay. Go to import. I have to open the parts. I think my parts are not there here. So this is the base. Make it default. Okay. Go to assemble. You can see that we have that the part 2. So here I don't know which one is the part 2. Okay, I don't need that. And I think the part 2. Okay, like when you open the part, you can see the view here, thumbnail view here also. So this is the part I need. So just apply a pin joint from here up to this point, like that. Fix the translation. Okay. Now just use the component by using the rotate, sorry, repeat. If you don't see here, go to the repeat. Choose both. Add. I need this one here, and I need this one here. Where is the component with the rotation pin joint? Like that. So now import the next part, that is this one. So just make the component fixed like that and use the relation. I just need to define that this page should be connected to this page. Both should be coincident, and after that this page should be connected to this one. So here is the relation. You can see that if we drag the component, it can be rotated. So right now just repeat, select all three, and first select the circular, second select the straight, and then to select this one, and third select the straight line. Here is the component. Click OK and rotate the component like that. So the last component we need is 4. Here is the component. So we need to make it slide. So just select the slider, select the axis like that. Okay, and okay. So the axis is wrong. So select it here. Remove and need to select this one. And after that, to make it parallel to this page, select two faces like that. Okay. So here is the slider added, but now we have to add the slider here also. So go to the new set, just select the face like that, and sorry, edge like that, and select the edge also. So in that we need only to apply the general. So you will see that the connection definition is complete. Just go to the drag. You can see that this is the motion. Any question in now? You can see the motion here. Just apply the pin joint to both. Make these objects both them fixed with respect to each other, or make you can use the rigid also. After that, use this component with slide in one side and general in another side. Okay. Any questions? There is no motion like gear here. The gear motion is not in the simple basic options. The gear, the spring, the dampers, everything is in the mechanism. So there are some gears also. Okay, we don't have in the basic assembly. We have to move to the mechanism to apply the gears, stem and follower, PD contact, belts like that. Yes, we can also apply the motors, but that will be again in the mechanism. Okay, in the mechanism we have the motors, the servo motors here. We can use that. Okay, but again this is in the advanced section. In the essential, we have some limited options for the models assembly. We can define the motor here, with an entity like that. We can define the motor. So if you just click OK, there will be the motor applied to this one. And after that, we have to just add the analysis from here. Okay. Any other question you can ask? You can edit the motor from here directly. You go to the reference, the file here, select everything. Click OK. And motor will be defined. You will see the symbol of the motor is this one. So you can see the spiral structure here for the motor. This one. Okay. So that was it for the day. In the next assignment, you will have to create some parts. Right. Okay. So here is the next assignment. So this is the eighth one. Okay, I think I have already created this one, but you will create it yourself, and after that apply the mechanism here. Okay. In the next assignment, I will provide you some other part. In the last assignment, you will have that part, and you have to use the mechanism here also. Okay. But for the day today, you have the first assignment, this one, that I have also covered, but you have to do it yourself. So if you have any question, just ask that, and after that, I'm going to close the session. Okay. So if you had any problem related to the voice, you can tell that. I just want to know that that my voice is clear to you, because in the other session people were complaining about the voice. So is my voice clear to everyone, or you are facing some problems? Yeah. Okay. So thank you. This was it for the day. If you have any question, you can ask in the group also, or if you have right now, you can just ask. I will answer that quickly. Okay. So attendance is done. I will arrange a new mic from the next session, and then we will have some clear voice. Okay. Thank you. Attendance is done.